Then the raw started, and bits and mining in India owes its first occurrence to 1908, much before the world knew about it, right? And initial stage, it was all mixed rare earth. Later on, as refined technology happened, and that happened with atomic energy, right? And bits and mining in India owes its first occurrence to 1908, much before the world knew about it, right? And initial stage, it was all mixed rare earth. Later on, as refined technology happened, and that happened with atomic energy. So that means first, bits and mining in India owes its first occurrence to 1908. Third, there has to be a technology enabler, the world, that is atomic energy, which brought in the ion exchange, solvent extraction, made separation possible. Before that, it was all mixed rare earth usage, mostly flint, the alloy of mixed rare earth and iron, which gives spark when hit. And that was the lighter, first portable lighter, based on that principle. Then it was the gas mantle that started the industry. Then that was the cinema scope. In my childhood days, almost all cinema projection will be using a carbon arc electrode. And the core of the carbon arc electrode will be filled with this rare earth fluoride to give that brightness. Otherwise, that brightness will never come. And that is how the cinema used to be projected on the screen, okay? And then you have those powders, which were used for polishing the glass. In those days, if you are to have a spect, it will take you 15 days, 7 days minimum, because the glass has to be ground to that precision. And for grinding that glass, the powder was rare earth oxide. But it was a mixed rare earth oxide, right? But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, you started all your magnet, laser, fluorescence, high-tech applications that we see today. And if you look at the graph on the top, rare earth oxide, you will see rare earth usage directly correlates with GDP growth. But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, this is started all your magnet, energy, laser, fluorescence, showing 99% of the fission material today. And if you look at the graph on the top, you will see rare earth usage directly correlates with GDP. But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, you started all your magnet, laser, fluorescence, showing 99% of the fission material in the atomic reactor. And if you look at the graph on the top, you will see rare earth usage directly correlates with GDP. But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, you started all your magnet, laser, fluorescence, showing 99% of the fission material in the atomic reactor. And if you look at the graph on the top, you will see rare earth usage directly correlates with GDP. But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, you started all your magnet, laser, fluorescence, showing 99% of the fission material in the atomic reactor. And if you look at the graph on the top, you will see rare earth usage directly correlates with GDP. But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, you started all your magnet, laser, fluorescence, showing 99% of the fission material in the atomic reactor. And if you look at the graph on the top, you will see rare earth usage directly correlates with GDP. But once atomic energy brought in those enabling technologies for separating them in a very affordable scale, you started all your magnet, laser, fluorescence, showing 99% of the fission material. Their chemical properties will be very close, so separation. Now this is action in the defense first, strategic industry space, atomic energy. I have put the application areas. You can see they are all high technology applications. And total world production is only 390,000 compared to 2,000 million tons of iron. 2,000 million tons, and this is 0.39 million tons. Minuscule. People who know accounting, they call it rounding up error. So it can easily pass up the notice of anybody. Business-wise also, it is very small. It is only 5 billion US dollar compared to total economy of the world, $110 million. But this $0.5 million support $5 trillion economy in terms of cell phone to color television to electric vehicle motors to batteries and so on and so forth. So this is the market segment. You can see that phosphor, battery, magnet, metallurgy. And today you get sophisticated grinding powders. Today you don't need glass polishing for spectacles or for car windows because you have flat glass technology, or even your spectacles are replaced by polymer technology. They are 3D printed. You get them in 2 days from Lenskart or any, so many companies. But then these polishing powders are used for solar cells, they are used for IC chips, packaging, and many sophisticated things. And they are no more in mixed form. They are pure cerium compounds with certain additives. And this is the neodymium magnet that drives in the wind turbine, electric vehicle motors, they all use this. This is where the problem comes. In fact, opportunity also comes. And this is a threat also. Obsolescence. See, the gas mantle industry started with thorium nitrate. That will use 1% cerium. So initial days, it was all thorium with little doping of cerium, 1%. Subsequently got replaced by Alva Edison's bulb. Then comes your CFL. That uses rare earth, incidentally. Then comes LEDs. LEDs also use rare earth, but 1,000 times less than that in CFL. Now LEDs are giving way to OLEDs, organic light emitting diodes. Then you have quantum dots. They also use rare earth, but the quantity is still much less than LEDs. Come below, your cinema projection. From carbonyl electrode, you have come today to digital projection. Migrated through incandescent lamp, brighter type, or mercury bulb and things like that. Then comes mismetal. They got replaced by piezoelectric things and further replaced by battery, right? And then NIMH battery. Lithium ion batteries are replacing, even sodium ions are trying a threat for lithium ion. Now, Indian rare earth industry, as I have said, 1908, after independent India, Atomic Energy Establishment, Rambe was formed, and then the rare earth mining was taken over, nationalized. Before that, they were all foreign owned by British or the German and things like that. So Indian rare earth actually amalgamated some of these mines, and today we operate them at Chavra and Kerala. Now we'll look at the minerals. Now these are the minerals, so many of them. I listed only 5 or 6 which are commercially important. Technically speaking, there will be more than 300 of these minerals, right? And out of that, only monazite is what we commercially process today, not today, even 1950 onwards, 52 onwards. Apart from the minerals, you get them as a minor impurity in so many such things, starting from fly ash, in the coal seam, red mud as a bauxite residue. You get them as iron ore impurity. Tin ore also contains these rare earth that is known as genotyme. Phosphate ores, even phosphoric acid contains rare earth. Now, if you look at the whole thing, monazite is only 5% of the mineral resources world over. 61% is from carbonatite. We have not yet started processing carbonatite in India. Only in last 3 years, about 6 or 7 mining blocks have been auctioned away inland, mostly in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and in Karnataka, where carbonatite deposits are there. Probably it will take us another 5 to 10 years before we see carbonatite source rare earth coming into India. Now, rare earth bearing minerals, 3 types in the world. First one, hard rock on the left. That's what the Molycorp mine started in USA. That started when color TV became a rage in 1960s. Europeum could give them the color tinge. Those days, Europeum was $2,500 per kilo. Today, Europeum price is less than $30 because of the technology change that has happened, right? And then we have that dredge mining, which is in Odisha, Oscom, in the middle. That's what India does. And we operate this type of system in Chabra and Manavala Kurchi, and extreme right is the iron adsorption clay, where the rare earth is available in soluble form in the clay itself. You just contact the clay with sodium chloride, magnesium sulfate, or sodium sulfate solution, ammonium sulfate solution, and rare earth leaches into the solution by doing ion exchange with sodium, ammonia, or magnesium, right? This you get in Myanmar. This China has got plenty of these. Now this is bitch sand. This is not a single mineral, conglomeration of 7. It has got titanium bearing mineral, it has got zirconium bearing mineral, this has got garnet, which is iron aluminum silicate, this has got sillimanite, aluminum silicate, and we have monazite. That's the rare earth bearing. It contains also thorium, it contains also uranium, which makes it radioactive. When you have 7 minerals, you separate them to minerally pure form by a series of physical separation stages or steps, taking advantage of their particle size, density, magnetic properties, electrical properties, and when everything works has done its job, still you need a better purity sometime for flotation. This is how it is. Now the challenge here is for regulator. Now you will see that the tailings of ilmenite will be actually a rich source for zircon or rutile. So what is conventionally known as iron ore tailing or bauxite tailing is not so in this particular industry. And monazite, which is the most sought after material now, is a poison in all these minerals because radiation protection rule will mandate monazite content not exceeding 0.25%. Because above that, your radiation level will exceed 10 becquerel per gram, then you will be mandated to put that rose petal sign, showing that it is radioactive, and nobody will touch it. And I have shown here, earlier it was all based on obvious geological potential area. 2012 onwards, Ministry of Mines changed its approach. They took decisions for starting mineral exploration based on the inland topography, based on the geology, based on geochronology, and that is how you have so many potential deposits which are finding their auction for giving opening opportunity for private sector exploration and mining. Now we come to extraction and refining. Here 2 processes, alkali and acidic monazite processing. We follow the alkali process. 1950s, and Odisha plant is a much bigger one, about 3 times the capacity that we operated in rare earth division Alwa in Kerala for about 52 years. And these are the products you get. In alkali process, the phosphate value gets trisodium phosphate. But if you increase monazite processing more, either by importing or by more mining in the country, trisodium phosphate production also will go up. And trisodium phosphate is only a scoring agent or a cleaning agent, limited market. What do? That's where the sulfuric acid process comes into picture. Because you will generate phosphoric acid, and that too, electrolytic grade phosphoric acid by solvent extraction. And that will find usage plenty in your lithium phosphate ion battery anode. That's a big market waiting. And if not so, you can pass it off or sell it in the market as a food grade phosphoric acid. That's a very premium product. Phosphoric acid, incidentally, is used to make your cold drink look frosty. And this is the decay chain. See, natural thorium, all these radioactive elements are in secular equilibrium. When you process thorium, extract rare earth, generate thorium as an oxalate form or as a phosphate form for long-term storage, what happens is all these daughter products which are held in equilibrium, they get washed away. Then the entire radioactivity will start from the scratch, from the thorium 232 disintegrating to the next daughter, and so and so. The three daughters which are having radium-based isotope, they are longer life, so they don't wither away. So they will first rise and then they will fall. The other ones are very short-lived. One of those daughter products I have mentioned here is radon. That's actually a xenon gas. It's called radon. This isotope of xenon gas is a short-lived isotope. It's a gas. It is heavy, but it can be carried away by the natural convection current, and it can deposit this bismuth, the next daughter products, on all your structural, on your body parts, everywhere. So there will be a thorium deposit. If it is not controlled or contained properly, it can spread unintended radiation exposure to everybody. This is the thorium plant. This operated for again 50 years, closed down. This was based on fractional precipitation. This produced, this catered to gas mantle industry in Bombay. This catered to the electrode industry, Bollywood, cinema in Bombay side, Western India and all over the country. This also generated thorium oxide, nuclear grade, and this incidentally is also used in the starter, which are becoming rarer nowadays. Tube light, when you switch it on, that starter, that makes a make or break contact, right? So that contact tip is laced with thorium oxide. Your microwave oven, the magnetron, which is inside the microwave oven, has got a thorium-laced coil inside, which helps to generate the electron beam that creates the microwave. Now, the problem with rare earth is removing all these host of impurities. Probably entire periodic table, most of them are there in this. So they are best removed by solvent extraction or by a combination of solvent extraction, ion exchange, and precipitation. This is the famous mixer settler. Use solvent. All these technology are Indian available, including the solvents. It was not so 10 years back, let me tell you. You have to import solvents, and Atomic Energy had a program to make the solvent in-house those days. But today, at least, there are 3 manufacturers making this solvent here in the country. This is the metal production. This institute is in the business of developing this process electrolytic method. There is a method to make metal also by calcium reduction. This is the rare earth permanent magnet. We all know the drones, the robots, the unmanned aerial vehicles. They are a big demand for creator for this particular material for defense industries now. Plus, you have the electric vehicles, you have the wind turbines, you have your mobile phone vibrator. When it rings, you know it vibrates. It has got a concentric motor. That's the small magnet that runs. And permanent magnet industry is nothing new in India. It's 40 years old. They used to process alnico magnets. Before samarium cobalt magnet became the industry norm for jet aircraft generators, it is alnico magnets which are used for this generation. And we have ferrite magnets also. Today, India also is a very big manufacturer of ferrites. And we have very good companies operating here, making state-of-the-art ferrite magnets. This is the famous stack. I just brought it to your notice. Many of these processes up to magnet making, including making of electrical vehicles or drones, they are amenable to small-scale manufacturing. They are also can be made by larger industries. The processes are different. In one process, you use a batch method, the other you use a continuous method. For example, electrolysis is for a continuous method, bigger production, whereas calciothermic process, calcium reduction, is a batch process for small volume. In fact, magnet production volume in China, there are industries which produce as low as 50 ton per year magnet, and they survive. How? Because these people probably cater to these mobile phone industry, where magnets are used in tiny shapes, tiny mass. They provide magnet to hard disk manufacturer where it is in tiny mass. So the volume matters. Magnets also are made in China, 5,000 ton, 10,000 ton per year. These are additionalities. Whenever the discussion comes in any technology forum, policy making, we only discuss neodymium, iron, boron, and the whole discussion focuses on neodymium alone because iron is available anyway. But that alone will not help you to get magnet making self-sufficiency. You need ferroboron, about 16%, and that too low carbon. And that is all imported from China today. Preferred ferroboron used in magnet industry is 20%. And boron is extremely difficult to be added as a pure element into the alloy because it volatilizes, right? Even gallium, it is used as an additive to the magnet. Titanium metal, zirconium metal, they are added. See what all Odisha has. Starting from iron one end to coal. And in between you have host of elements, which I thought is better to bring to this notice of this august audience. And they are all required for making magnet. Otherwise you will be importing this. Gallium incidentally is a strategic material because gallium nitride is required for high frequency electronics chips, which is a strategic requirement for DRDO, defense. Energy has been the biggest obstacle. Today in Odisha, you have Paradip as a hydrogen hub, and that takes the maximum energy because renewable energy has been the enabler. And these aluminum, we are leader in Odisha because they have captive power plant. They are competing worldwide. The business of making silicon metal or making neodymium metal is so small, nobody will ever set up a captive power plant to make power available cheap rate. This is where government comes into picture. Such a strategic thing, if you want to be globally competitive, if you want to making a manufacturing hub, you need to create a zone or you need to create a system where power can be available at a cheaper rate, competitive rate. China realized it long back, and I have visited those Baotao, inner Mongolia, high-tech regions where power was made available at half the price. This is what you have: solar, wind, biomass. If you look at it, Odisha's situation is somewhere in the middle. We are not so great, we are not so poor. You are just in the middle, the green or light green shade. And today, renewable energy is becoming so competitive, agriculture is getting such a big boost, the three things come together is the answer to your power question. We never had an atomic reactor in this region of the country. Why? Because we are so near to the coal pit, so we thought getting atomic reactor will jeopardize the coal business. But if you have to set up, move, zero energy, net zero future, probably government can seriously consider having atomic reactor and provide this energy to this type of industries which are energy intensive. Now we see the problems. Now problems are before you, we have already discussed. Obsolescence, low volume, host of products that you get, they don't have the same market, changing market, all kind of things. Now when you make strategy, you should be very clear for whom are you making strategy. Here I will be discussing strategies for the country, not for company. The discussion gets muddled up when company's requirement gets muddled with country's requirement. See the pie, production pie. Cerium lanthanum, the cheapest material, they cater to 66% of the total rare earth production. Your neodymium, praseodymium, most hunted material, are about 20-25% maximum. Dysprosium terbium, needed for making the magnets high temperature resistance. Without that, magnets become obsolete. No use. They are only 2%. This is the price difference. Cerium lanthanum, neodymium, praseodymium 100 times the price of cerium lanthanum. Dysprosium terbium 4-5 times that of your neodymium, praseodymium. But don't get carried away. This is just for elucidating. These prices were taken about a year back. Today things have changed. The prices have come down. But the proportion has remained like that. Today it is 3 times or 2 times. This is the problem comes. We all relied on one single country for 30 years, starting from 1980 till now. And today 90%, 60% of the mining is outside China, by China only, 40% out of China. But processing 91% in China, magnet making 92% in China, and value addition is about more than 40%. This graph shows it all. 2007 onwards, China's domestic consumption of rare earth has become more than 70% steadily, even now also, for last 18 years. China has become a net importer of rare earth since 2011 onwards. And after they became self-sufficient in 2007, achieved steadiness, 3 years after that, they made the great experiment by stopping supply to Japan, 2010. Prices shoot up. Then world woke up. But it was only Japan who took steps. America came into picture 2020 when they realized 100% of Pentagon's production is based on Chinese source. This is a peculiar situation, never happened in 250 years of human history. We know monopoly. That is a single supplier dominating the market. Monopsony, single buyer. If you want to get the material processed, send it to China. If you want to buy it from China. Monopsony and monopoly. Monopsony is a technical term for a single buyer, where you cannot sell it to anybody. If you're today mining and you have mixed rare earth, you want to sell it to somebody, no buyer, because nobody has the refining know-how. So both thing with one country. Now these are the market and trade dynamics. Many of these we have already discussed. Now if you look at it, it basically comes under 3 categories. 1, volume of business low. 2nd, volatility of market. 3rd, there is no steady application. Nobody can guarantee that this application will be for 5 years or more. And we have this problem for bits and mining. All our coastal areas are highly populated, and there is a land compete usage. You have defense establishment, atomic energy, you have ports, we'll see in subsequent slides. So you have to negotiate, and when it is thickly populated, for example, Karunagapalli, Kerala, where you get the highest grade of ilmenite and monazite also, the land price is one of the highest, and the population density 2 cents per head, that is 50 family per acre. You can never imagine this kind of a scenario in Australia or Canada, or even South Africa. So for that, keeping in mind, if you have to have strategy, what should you do? You should make best use of whatever you have. You don't have much of heavy rare earth. So today technologies are enablers, and there are technology to reduce heavy rare earth usage in magnet to almost 0. Today there are technologies which can replace neodymium, praseodymium by up to 30%. So one has to embrace it today or tomorrow. Otherwise you will be running pillar to post searching for this material in Brazil, South America, anywhere else. Secondary sources, yes. Scandium, you really don't have a mineral source for this. So you need to get it from these wasts. Lutetium, another strategic material, 71 atomic number. You have to get it from some fly ash. In southern coalfield, I think IMMT is already working on that. You get lutetium and germanium, both are critical. This is where Viksit Bharat program, you see, 2 programs are launched at an interval of 5 years. One is 220, another is 25. That is NCMM, National Critical Mineral Mission. Now, one of the pillars of National Critical Mineral Mission is to strengthen manufacturing in the country. And it is the right vision that to make India developed on its 100th year of independence, we should be having strong manufacturing base. And there minerals play a very crucial role. This is where the corridor comes in. So there are three things in this. One is, rare earth corridor is 5 states. Odisha, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, where bits and mining is prominent. Second, prior to this announcement, there is a Purvodaya state, announced by Honorable Prime Minister. There comes again, West Bengal is added, Bihar is there, Chhattisgarh is there, Jharkhand is there, Odisha also is there. Then, subsequent slide we will see the corridor concept facilitates, because this material, whatever you process here near the mine site, has to find its user, consumer all over India. And Western India is anyway much more technologically advanced. And Southern India and defense corridor is coming in UP. So your material has to move. Now the next slide we'll see what government is doing for facilitating that. Look at this, Sagarmala project. Ports all around. 50 years back, where are the ports in Eastern India? No ports. Paradip port came much later. It was only your Bombay port. Vizag was mostly used for navy. But today you have Dhamra, you have Andhra itself, 3-4 ports. All our ports, you can see this. Even inland waterway, I have shown in the previous slide, 20 inland waterways to facilitate movement of materials. Connectivity, because you will be nearer to the customer. And these are the 3 threats that you cannot avoid, you have to negotiate. Geopolitics, climate change, and your disasters, natural disasters, starting from tsunami to cyclone to landslides, that also you cannot eliminate. You have to stay with that. And it is only when academics, R&D and industry work together and government is the facilitator, then only the best innovation happens. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a really very insightful plenary discussion. I request to have your respective seat. Thank you so much once again. Can we have a huge round of applause, everybody? Now we have the Rare Earth Wealth Odisha 2036 vision. The topic is exploring opportunities on rare earth elements. Now the panel discussion we are going to start. I request Dr. S.K. Angari, scientist, FCSIR IMMT, to moderate this panel. Can we have a big round of applause, everybody? Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. I'm really fortunate to have to monitor such an important event on this auspicious day. And of course, actually, rare earths in recent time, it has gained a lot of importance in the country and all over the world. Of course, in India also, we have started working on it, and of course, if you see CSIR IMMT, since long time we started working on critical minerals, and of course, actually, during that time we were not saying it's a critical mineral. If you see about 30 years back, we were speaking only, especially in the Indian continent, we were speaking on ferrous minerals, non-ferrous, and of course, coal and limestone were largely being mined. And we used to speak some extent on strategic minerals. And say almost about 4 or 5 years back, importance of critical minerals, they entered into the field. Of course, actually, the term critical, it refers to not only the strategic importance of the country, it also refers to the geopolitical scenario and say whether the resources are available within the country or no. It also adds the economy into consideration. Now, learning the importance of these type of minerals, Government of India, they have announced 24 elements into the critical mineral list, almost during 2023 onwards, and based on that, January 2025, National Critical Mineral Mission has been floated by the Indian government. In line with this, now we have a discussion. The panelists are Dr. R.N. Patra again, and Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, Dr. Kali Sanjay, and Professor Nehar Bala Devi, and Dr. Swagat Rath, and Ms. Binapani Pera. I would like to ask Dr. R.N. Patra, sir. Sir, thank you very much for your lucid presentation, and of course, it is very, very much informative, and it gives us a lot of insights into, where the India stands. Sir, given your tenure leading at IRL India, it has historically kept beach sand and monazite processing under strict state control due to its strategic thorium content. With India's recent multi-crore pushes for domestic magnetic manufacturing, how can the state-run upstream sector effectively partner with private technology developers and startups to accelerate downstream oxide production?
I think your question is very straightforward. The answers are also simple. The control is only for mining of bits and minerals. The bits and mineral as a group are listed under Part B of Schedule 1 of the MMDR Act. So if any state-owned company, whether state or central or joint venture of that, joint venture of central government-owned company and a state-owned company, they expand mining of bits and mineral as per the legislation. Obviously, mining activities can be done under MDO contract and a lot of people can participate, and most of the mining today is under MDO basis, right? Your iron ore mining, whether it is OMC or Tata or Jindal, is mostly operated by the contractors, MDOs, who are equally big, I can say, in their operation area, capital, finance, everything outlay. They are the owner. The responsibility will lie with the owner, which is a government-owned company. Mining operation can be open to anybody. That's number one. And number two, when you mine, you will produce a host of materials, ilmenite, rutile, zircon, monazite, everything. All these material except monazite has got ample scope for value addition. Ilmenite itself can be going for pigment. Just before coming here, I was having exciting discussion with the director. I never knew he's expert in pigment and paints. Zircon, already people are there Western India side processing zircon into chemicals. Here in Odisha, we just did some grinding and marginal value addition, making some zirflor. Rutile, We are short of rutile. It is imported. Most of the rutile in India are for electrode flux manufacturing. When the mining expands, that import dependency will reduce. Flux manufacturers are small scale people. It is not the case in world. World rutile goes to making chloride grade pigment. India is a different story. Our rutile consumption itself will be 30,000-40,000 tons. There is a big opportunity. You can convert ilmenite to an electrode grade material replacing rutile. How? Ilmenite is basically an iron ore. 35% iron in Odisha ilmenite. Today your cutoff IBM is 35% iron in the iron ore. It is 50% TiO2. So if you reduce ilmenite, simple to metal form. I was inquiring before coming here what happened to the research. A metallized ilmenite is a good substitute for rutile in the electrode flux because the people who make electrode flux, they buy iron powder, mix it with rutile. And this is a big business in China itself, where rutile are basically titano-vanadium magnetite, having a lot of other impurities. So if you look at it, there is a vast opportunity in the value addition, whether it is pigment, whether it is paint, whether it is zirconium chemical, whether it is hydrogen economy, because you need stabilized zirconia for your solid electrolyte cells, hydrogen production at high temperature. Magnet, once rare earth is brought out, thorium is managed, it is open. You have your refining, you have your neodymium available to magnet, everything. Incidentally, government opened this bits and mining sector for private participation starting 96 till 2015, hoping that opening it up will bring value addition. And we all know in 20 years, 21 years, no value addition happened. Because what people are doing? Simply exporting. Because value addition requires a different enabling circumstances. You require connectivity, you require power at competitive rate. Just by wishing value addition, it will not happen. If you look at the preamble of the policy document, which facilitated opening of this sector to private people in 1996, it reads that this will bring in value addition. But those days, these infrastructure development, golden quadrilateral, north-south connectivity, east-west corridor, then nothing was there. Your waterways, your facilitating mechanism, today you are power surplus. Just till 2015-16, there used to be load shedding everywhere. So it's just a wishful thinking that you say, do value addition. I will often be castigated, criticized by my chairman, Atomic Energy Commission, who was the noted scientist of this country. He is no more now, Sri Kumar Banerjee, often telling that you make money by selling sand. Why don't you do value addition? So we did. There are 4 patents. I am an inventor that time. Bringing out production of 4,9 pure titanium dioxide, 4,9 pure zirconium oxide, but they are all lying unimplemented. Why? Because nobody knew how to convert it into a revenue generating stream. Where is 4,9 pure TiO2 is used? It's not for pigment. Today Maruti is setting up a lithium titanium oxide battery. It's an anode. It's a type of lithium ion battery in Gujarat, in collaboration with 2 other Japanese companies. The titanium that goes into that, it has to be 4,9 pure. And whom are they buying from? They're buying from a company called Altair Nano. So you develop a technology, yes, but unless there is a enabling ecological system, industry system, You cannot make much of it. And when you have to blame somebody, you blame IRE because you do value addition. That company is for different purpose. Value addition is a different ball game. Have I answered your question or some other doubt remains?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. And in fact, our second panelist, Dr. Kali Sanjay, he is heading the business development wing of our institute, and also he is head of the hydrometallurgy department. Dr. Sanjay, CSIR IMMT recently signed MOU, a major MOU with Engineers India Limited and Hindustan Copper Limited to advance indigenous technology for critical minerals. From your perspective, what are the primary challenges when taking bench scale hydrometallurgical lab breakthroughs and successfully scaling them to a commercial one? Sir.
Yeah. We at CSR IMT have been developing processes that involves flow sheet development, bench scale testing, and pilot scale studies to some extent, depending on the requirement. And commercialization is a different ballgame where we provide probably the basic engineering. So with Engineers India Limited, we had a good experience in the past. We have set up a 500 kgs per day of polymetallic nodules dedicated pilot plant and produced copper, nickel and cobalt, probably the largest in the world and the only pilot plant of that scale. And as we understand that commercialization path actually takes through different levels of engineering development. So we can do at certain level, and then detail engineers like EAL, Mecon and all those generally do it. So the process is ours, and the pathway will come only when we have these people involved during the process development itself. Since we have a center of excellence, and these MOAs are also linked with them becoming the spokes who will be involved even during the development of the program, as well take our technologies to next level of commercialization. This is part one. Part two, we are also developing some indigenous technologies, such as molten salt electrolysis for conversion of oxides to metals through fluoride route. Now, there are a lot of engineering aspects that can come in from their inputs. That is from EAL, as far as HCL and all, because they have resources. So this is like ecosystem building, so that they are involved from the day we are developing, probably listening, and then guiding, doing the engineering or mass balance, energy balance. And then when we give it at one level, they are the people who can take it to next one. That's the reason we will. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And in fact, actually, you are also heading the Center of Excellence with India aggressively looking to build strategic partnerships with countries like Canada. How can the Center of Excellence you lead help bridge the domestic technology gap, particularly regarding this heavy rare earth processing?
There are many folds that we are working. The one is the indigenous technologies development, because there are technologies which are blocked by the countries. They would not give it to you. So for example, this molten salt electrolysis of fluoride. There are other technologies and resources also, because when we are talking about critical minerals, the fundamental part of it is that we are expecting the demand, and there's a gap between the demand and supply in the country, and therefore they're critical. So there are other resources in other friendly countries which can be used. For example, Australia. Australia has a good mining and capabilities and resources, but most of them go to China. So there is a possibility that Indian industry can also set up plants using Australian mine minerals. So like spodumene, laterite nickels, copper oxides. So we have different platforms. We have 3 or 4 platforms as of now, including Mintech, which is for PGM. And then we have Australia, CSIRO. We are working for VTMs, vanadium titanium extraction for Indian resources. And we have started initiating with a joint declaration of intent with Canada. And we are looking forward because they have heavy rare earths, especially in Saskatchewan area. And with Russia, we have multiple interests. One is to have the resources as well as the technologies, because most of the technologies which are come out from the old era of USSR, now with JSs, they are available, and especially being a friendly country, we have especially for high pure metals purifications for semiconductors and also. We need to depend on some level of technology and to build up and the resources.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now the third panelist, Professor Nihar Bala Devi. Madam is working at SOA University, and she is expert in solvent extraction, and she has worked a lot on rare earth mineral extraction. Madam, you have worked on extracting high value metals from diverse feedstocks, ranging from electronic waste to deep sea manganese nodules. When shifting from natural mineral ores to urban mining feedstocks, like discarded circuit boards, how does the fundamental approach to leaching and solvent extraction chemistry, it changes?
Okay, you can see when we are considering an ore, so we know the mineralogy. But when we are coming to e-waste, so your PCB, so it contains several metals in a compact form. Like PCB, you have copper, and it has a case, and your gold, platinum, palladium is also there, also copper, nickel. And first, in case of e-waste, we have to require the pre-treatment. Pre-treatment is required. We have to remove the plastic, and some organic binders are there, so that should be removed without harming the metals. Then we'll see the metals, they are in which form, then we can go for leaching. But if you say simply your chalcopyrite, it only contains copper and iron.
Right. Right.
So, and it is in a sulfide form. So then we can easily select the leaching reagent.
Okay.
But when we'll go for a complex system, so we have to see, because your platinum metals, group metals and gold, they require aqua regia, where copper base metals, they require a little acids.
Okay.
So here you have to see the chemistry. Then when suppose they have leached, when we'll go for the solvent extraction part, then base metals, they are easily extracted with the organophosphorus extractants. Whereas your gold, platinum, they require TBP, tributyl phosphate, that is a neutral ligand, and medium should be highly acidic. So when we are going for an e-waste, then problem comes, and we have to see their chemistry, their binding property, coordination chemistry, etc. So it is not easy. Directly we cannot choose any lixiviant or extractant, and we can say it will work. Again, so many metals, if we separate, then which metal we have to first separate. Then whether the separation factor is high or not, that also we have to see.
Yes, madam. Yeah, in fact, actually, one it is a ore form, and the other one is the e-waste.
Yeah.
I mean, processing wise, whether it is easy to do by ore or through e-waste.
No, e-waste, actually you have to require pre-treatment. Some wastes are easier to process, like you can say waste magnets. They can be easily processed.
Okay.
And I have done a lot of work in lithium ion batteries. And now whatever we are getting the black mass.
Right.
The other part was taken care of by the other persons.
Right.
So that can be easier.
Right. Yeah, in fact, madam, actually, you have worked on this solvent extraction.
Yeah.
Okay, it remains the industry workforce for RE separation, of course. What are the most promising near-term improvements, whether in extractants like DEFA, TOGDA, and ionic liquids, or say equipment-wise, either it's a columns, centrifugal concentrators, or rapid SX style systems or process design that could meaningfully reduce the cost, footprint, and environmental impact in the Indian context.
Okay, if we'll see in the Indian context, so now we can see in our National Critical Mineral Mission, so we have the rare earth corridors, and already the monazite ore is taken care of by the IREL. Now if we come to the other wastes where it contains the rare earth metals, like you see NDFE boron magnet, or your red mud, or you can say the coal fly ash. So in this case, I can suggest both contains your heavy and light rare earth elements. So DEFA is a good extractant, but it requires a number of stages, more stages for the separation.
Okay.
So now PC88A is there, another same organophosphinic extractant. It gives more separation factor. And one extractant developed by Cytec Solvo, CNX572, that is also used for the good for heavy rare earths.
Okay.
So, and what from my study I have seen that synergistic extraction systems, that means if we mix PC88 with CNX572 or DEFA with CNX272, so it gives better separation factor.
Okay, madam. Yeah, thank you very much. And the next question to the panelist, Ms. Binapani Bera. Bina, you were working on NDFEB magnet recycling. I just wanted to know what are the issues you encounter and how, say, these laboratory scale experiments, they can be transferred into the industrial scale.
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you very much. Sir has already thrown light on why this processing of secondary resources like NDFEB magnet is very much important based on the complexities associated with it, because like the ores are very much complex because of the radioactivity elements present, whereas this is very much easier. And we have initiated the work 10 years before with my colleagues. And earlier we have started with SMCO magnet and the expertise which we have gained. With that, recently we have completed a project on NDFEB magnet from spent wind turbine magnet. So like as your question, like how the lab scales can be implemented to the industries and all. So like usually we stop at the lab scale experiment, but this time we have taken the NDFEB, means we have developed the process at lab scale, and we have tested the process to the upscaling level at a pilot scale. To like 10 to 12 kg scale of processing, and in that scale, like I said, this is easier than the ores. The only challenge is the presence of iron, which is more than 50%, 50 to 60%. That is the major impurity in hydrometallurgical processing units. So in that case, there is little loss, like some 4 to 3% of loss is there. But we have repeated like many batches, and from that we have generated the data which are required for the like industrial operations. And in fact, we have also we did a primary techno-economic analysis So we have also generated the costing of that process, which comes under this ROI of approximately 4%, which these things can be taken for the industries, or we can approach industries for its commercial exploitation. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pina. And the next panelist is my friend Dr. Swagat Rath. He is working extensively on the molecular simulation. Especially it helps in identification of the what kind of reagents it is required to adsorb on the mineral surfaces. Dr. Swagat, yeah, in fact, I would like to ask you, your work on molecular modeling and simulations to design flotation reagents, as the industry it pivots to mining very low grade complex deposits. How can computer aided molecular simulations help us in designing smarter chemicals?
I thank you for this question. In fact, flotation is all about separating the hydrophobic minerals from the hydrophilic ones. And these, a lot of these reagents are applied there to selectively make certain surfaces hydrophobic. And most of these reagents are imported, and we don't know their chemical structure. So in India, as we are interested in developing the indigenous chemical agents, these MD simulations and the density functional calculations can help you to study the chemistry of how a reagent gets adsorbed on a mineral cleavage plane. So it will help in not only understanding the chemistry, but also developing your own reagents.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Swagat. In fact, actually, now I would like to request Ramanuj sir. Sir, in fact, actually, when you took a charge of this laboratory, of course, a lot of importance on critical minerals, and you have taken many initiatives to lead the national programs. According to you, what is that you may require further to switch laboratory into pilot scale into the industrial operations? Because in recent time, India is going to transfer, many of these phases. How you take it forward, sir?
Thank you, Dr. Angadi. You have been part that your questions is very, very long if it will answer, because time is not there. But I can tell you this institute has done a wonderful job. It's not that last 3 years what I have taken, but the legacy on what it was built up. It was to show that how those knowledge base can reach to the industry. And with support of almost 260 people from all the 3 wings, our leadership has decided our mission that this is the unique laboratory of CSIR where we don't talk in grams, we talk in tons. And only a new form has been given. 3 segments we are primarily focused on. One is the critical mineral. It's not that after announcement of National Critical Mineral Missions we are working. We were having the expertise that the first and foremost thing we have gone for critical mineral. It includes PGE, Professor Patra sir was talking about REs, that out of how we can expand our extractive capability from 42 elements to 60 elements. So one focus area is the critical elements and that one. Second is the decarbonization of a steel sector, that whatever work you do, that is the pillar 2 of the institute. But these two directions, because we are in the state of Odisha, we have to look for the resources of this place. So this covers almost everything. But that requires today's sustainability, net zero is talked about. So everything should come into a circular form. So waste resource utilization and infrastructure engineering is the third pillar. The fourth pillar on which we are focusing is how to do AIML, instrumentation, infrastructure into that. So this is the fourth pillar. Fifth pillar, what we are looking, that pyrometallurgical operations, if you are looking for critical mineral, if you are looking for value addition, then pyrometallurgy will do. And one point Dr. Swagat was talking about, how modeling, process modeling can be used for those purpose. And next pillar is the materials chemistry. We have to understand the chemistry. In that we are making advancement towards, just now you have talked about one flotation reagent. Can we create all sorts of things? So total 6 pillars I talked. Final pillar, we have to reach to the society. So this societal needs, the decarbonization will be added by the pipeline transport. These are the pillars what we are working. And now the mission of the institute is very unique. For CSIR has also given us mandate, that what is the mandate of the, so redefined mandate of the institute is sustainable extractive metallurgy of critical of minerals and valorization of secondary resources for value added materials and critical elements. So this is the nutshell. And last 3 years, as you rightly told, we are already planned 9 pilot plant, that whatever our panelists were talking about. In that 4 plants are under operations now, including the PGE pilot plant, then molten salt electrolysis pilot plant, 200 channel solvent extraction plant, it will be under installation. Then coal gasification unit, that another very important area not for decarbonization, but adding value to the biochar type of fertilizer. That area we are going to expand in a very big way. Then we are on the verge of making a straight gate pilot plant, vertical shaft pilot plant, rotary clean pilot plant. So these are the things. This is a unique laboratory of the country where everything will be in the pilot scale. But some of the things Professor Patra sir talked about, the next vision is how to separate that, how to extract metal, what Dr. Kali was talking about. We have put molten salt, but can we go for zone refining? Can we do that type of processing? So we are on the verge of making our institute as an industrial park where all startups can come up and do their experiment in critical elements. Pilot scale itself may be a production stage, and that can be a stockpile or given to the requisite people. So, okay, because it will be a very long answer, so let me cut it short. So lot of plan are there. Once you will give chance to me like Patra sir to present, then I can tell you the vision and mission in a very, very detailed way. So this is the short answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for your response. And yeah, of course, actually, lot of discussions, especially Patra sir, Dr. Sanjay, Dr. Niyarbala Devi, and Bibina Pani, Dr. Swagatrath, and Director sir. It was, Dr. Sanjay already, I told, yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for your insightful thoughts. I would like to now close this discussion.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all our distinguished panelists for an engaging and insightful discussion on exploration opportunities in rare earth elements. Your valuable perspectives, expertise, and thoughtful deliberation have provided us with a deeper understanding of the opportunities and the path ahead in this critical sector. On behalf of the organizing team, we sincerely thank you for your time and meaningful contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our esteemed panelists a warm round of applause. And now I request Ms. Binapani Behra, Scientist CSIR IMMT, to present the technical showcase. Once again, now I request Dr. Varsha Das and Dr. Satyaprakash Mishra, the coordinator for Purvodaya Odisha, to please come up on the stage and felicitate our esteemed dignitaries with the Uttariya and memento. With a warm round of applause, everyone. It was a great and insightful panel discussion we had on Rare Earth Wealth Odisha 2036 vision and exploring opportunities on rare earth elements. Thank you so much to all our panelists. I request all our esteemed dignitaries to please have your respective seats down the stage. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Swagat Rath, scientist of CSIR IMMT, and Ms. Bina Pani Behra,
Purvodaya
Sci-
Mind Conclave
Scientist
2026
CSIR
themed Mineral
IMT for the
Resources
presentation.
Innovations for Nations Development, hosted at CSIR IMMT, Bhubaneswar on 30th and 31st July. This conclave highlights the important minerals driving India's future: lithium for clean energy and EVs, elements for catalysis and hydrogen technologies, tungsten for aerospace, defense, and advanced materials, rare earth elements for magnets, electronics, and strategic applications, and iron ore for steel and infrastructure. At CSIR-IMMT, the Mineral Processing Department is developing advanced beneficiation and processing technologies to in strategic national assets. Bringing together mining companies, startups, researchers, and policymakers, this conclave aims to foster collaboration and innovation to strengthen India's mineral security and support the vision of developed India by 2047. Lithium is one of the most critical minerals for the global clean energy transition due to its high electrochemical potential and excellent energy storage capability. It is the key component of lithium-ion batteries used in electric vehicles, portable electronics, and renewable energy storage systems. The rapid growth of these global demand, with the lithium market projected to grow from USD 32.4 billion in 2025 to USD 96.5 billion by 2033. Lithium occurs mainly in continental brines and hard rock pegmatites, with Australia leading production and Chile holding the largest reserves. Although India depends heavily on promising deposits have been identified in Risi, Amershwar, Digana, Kodarma, Korba, and Jashpur. To utilize these resources, the CSIR mission project aims to develop sustainable beneficiation and extraction technologies. The present work contributes to this mission by developing efficient processing routes for Indian lithium ores, supporting Atmanirbhar Bharat and India's clean energy. Following the assessment of India's lithium resources, the first deposit investigated in this study was the spodumene-bearing pegmatite from the Amershwar deposit in Karnataka. As part of this work, a field investigation was conducted to collect representative rock samples from the deposit for detailed laboratory studies. The objective was to develop an efficient beneficiation and extract lithium recovery. Mineralogical characterization using X-ray diffraction confirmed spodumene as the principal lithium-bearing mineral, along with quartz, feldspar, and mica. Since the feed contained only about 1.1% lithium oxide, beneficiation was necessary prior to extraction. A combination of comminution, gravity separation, and flotation was employed. Successive oxide grade to approximately 5.5% in the concentrate. XRD analysis of the concentrate further confirmed the enrichment of spodumene and the effective removal of gangue minerals. The beneficiated concentrate was subsequently processed through two extraction routes: alkali roasting followed by water leaching, and decrepitation followed by acid roasting and water leaching. Both routes efficiencies exceeding 95%. The resulting leach liquor was purified, and lithium was recovered as lithium carbonate. The synthesized lithium carbonate exhibited a purity of 99.89%, and its XRD pattern closely matched that of commercial lithium carbonate, confirming the successful production of a battery-grade product. These findings demonstrate producing high-purity lithium carbonate from Indian spodumene and provide a strong foundation for developing indigenous lithium extraction technology. Building on the successful extraction from hard rock spodumene, the second deposit investigated was the bauxitic claystone from the Risi deposit, Jammu and Kashmir, one of India's promising lithium-bearing clay resources, which is also a good source of aluminium and REEs. Mineralogical characterization using XRD, optical microscope, and LAICPMS confirmed cookate as the major lithium-bearing mineral, with the feed containing approximately 0.11% lithium oxide. DSC imaging revealed that lithium was distributed throughout both the matrix and the picolytic core, making conventional beneficiation ineffective because of poor mineral liberation. Therefore, a direct extraction approach was adopted. Various chloridizing additives investigated. Mixed chloride salts proved to be the most effective. The optimized process, comprising chlorination roasting followed by water leaching, achieved more than 99% lithium extraction. Response surface methodology was employed to optimize the roasting conditions and evaluate the effects of temperature, roasting time, and additive dosage on. The developed process demonstrates an efficient and sustainable route for lithium extraction from Indian claystone resources. Extending the investigation to lithium mica resources, the third deposit studied was the zinwaldite-bearing ore from the Digana deposit, Rajasthan. The objective was to evaluate the beneficiation and extraction potential of lithium from both pegmatite and granite ores. Mineralogical characterization using electron microscopy with SEMI-DS confirmed zinnwaldite as the principal lithium-bearing mineral, along with cassiterite, topaz, monazite, fluorite, wolframite, quartz, xenotime, and goethite. The pegmatite and granite feeds contained approximately 0.45% and 0.15% lithium oxide, respectively. Beneficiation using followed by wet high-intensity magnetic separation upgraded the lithium oxide grade to 0.83% for the pegmatite and 0.56% for the granite. The beneficiated products were then subjected to roast, leach extraction using different additives. Among those investigated, potassium hydrochloride, calcium chloride mixed salt system produced the highest lithium recovery from the pegmatite sample, while the sodium chloride, calcium chloride mixed salt system was the most effective for the granite sample, achieving nearly complete lithium extraction under optimized conditions. These findings demonstrate the potential of the Dagana deposit indigenous lithium resource and establish an efficient beneficiation and roast, leach route for lithium recovery from Indian zinnwaldite ores. Now coming to the fourth deposit investigated is the lithium-bearing mica deposit from the Koderma region of Jharkhand, a promising indigenous lithium resource. The study was carried out on both mica pegmatite and granite samples to evaluate their beneficiation and lithium extraction potential. Mineralogical characterization using optical microscopy showed that the major minerals are muscovite, quartz, biotite, with lithium hosted mainly in the mica phase. The mica pegmatite and granite samples contained approximately 0.11% and 0.18% lithium oxide, respectively. Beneficiation was performed.
Thank you so much. That's all for the first panel. Now coming towards the second panel discussion. The topic is exploration of artificial intelligence in mining and minerals. I would like to invite the panelists onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let us welcome Professor Brahmadeo, MGM Chair, Professor IIT Bhubaneswar. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let us welcome Dr. Vanshidhar Maji, Vice Chancellor, C.V. Raman Global University. Dr. D.P. Das, Scientist, Chief CSIR, IMMT, and the moderator of this panel. Dr. Satyajit Rath, Scientist, G. CSIR, IMMT, with a huge round of applause, everybody. Dr. Srimati Purbi Purnasha Mishra, CEO, STPI Bhubaneswar, with a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, with a high energy, everyone. Dr. Shakuntala Mahapatra, Dean, R&D, TAT Bhubaneswar. Once again, I request Dr. Varsha Das and Dr. Satyaprakash Mishra, the coordinator, Purvodaya Odisha, to please come up on the stage and felicitate our esteemed dignitaries with a flower bouquet. तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट रुकनी नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमारे पैनलिस्ट very expert and very amazing personalities are present here to give us insightful informations. So I request everyone, सभी थोड़ा सा हमारे dignitaries के लिए थोड़ा ताली बजा दीजिए. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I request Dr. D.P. Das, Scientist GCS IR IMMT, to moderate this panel. Thank you so much.
Hello, thank you, madam. I am Dr. Devi Prasad Das. So, thanks for giving this opportunity to moderate this particular panel on use of AI and ML in mining and mineral processing ecosystems. And this particular conclave, Purvodaya's Mind Conclave 2026, welcomes all the participants, maybe students, startup companies, planners, and some of the administrators to this particular very informative and suggestive panel discussion. We have very eminent personalities here, very senior professors from IIT, from Professor Maji from C.V. Raman Global University, but earlier he was in NIT Rourkela and he was a director of one IIIT Kanchipuram, and also he was Vice Chancellor of VSSUT. So we are very much fortunate. And we have our Dr. Satyajit Rath. He is a Chief Scientist, Scientist G here, Head of Computer Science Department. Madam Purvi Purnasa Misra from STPI Bhubaneswar, and Madam Sakuntala, Madam from Trident Institute of Technology, Trident Academic Technology Bhubaneswar. So he's Dean R&D. So we have a versatile panelist here. So we will be now understanding from them that what is their views on application of AI ML in mining and mineral processing areas. So as all of us know that India is having a lot of mines and mineral processing and metal industries. These mining and metal industries are manually operated. Sometimes it is also automated. But the advent of AI ML techniques in all fields, educational field, healthcare field, transportation, everywhere it is predominantly dominated. So can we apply them with more and more vigor in mining and mineral areas? So that is the main point here. Since we have a lot of startup companies, whether there are a lot of opportunity, whether there are any opportunity for the startup companies to venture into these type of areas, and then they also can develop technologies or adopt technologies to make their startup companies developed and make profit. Along with making profit and developing their companies, they should be able to contribute to our mining and mineral ecosystems so that the resource what we are using now, their value will be enhanced. The way we are mining today, the way our industries are running, that should be enhanced. So first we will be asking or taking the views of our professor from IIT. Sir, we have seen that from your website that you are MGM professor chair professor in IIT Bhubaneswar, and you are also interested in AI ML techniques applied to particularly mineral material. Sir is core metallurgy professional and he is also applying AI ML. So what is his view in the area of mining and mineral processing? Which are the areas, which are the challenges now the mining and mineral areas are facing? How the AI ML can be applied there, sir?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the question posed. The DRI or direct iron, directly reduced iron is the first stage of converting the raw material into a usable product. And there are several industries, in fact, amounting to almost 70 million tons which are engaged in this area. And now the pressure is on them to reduce coal consumption, replace it with hydrogen. But how long that will take is a question to think about. Now, if the operation of the, so we are thinking, as he said, from the point of view of investors or the startups who can benefit from helping these organizations. Now, most of these organizations are surviving through some means. That means they are not technologically efficient or up to the mark. And without realizing that by improving data collection, they can improve, sorry, they can improve their productivity and profit by it. So this improving this productivity is through process modeling. Unfortunately, at most places, except for some reputed companies like Tata Steel or Jindal and so on, the workforce that is employed is of a lower cadre, because people want to make money on salary also, without realizing that if you put an engineer, put a data collection system, they can make much more money. But there are some underhand dealings going on in this plant, and they don't want to do it. So let us talk about those companies which are standard companies, which have standard data collection systems. For them, I have worked for example, for Tata Steel at Joda, and they were successful, not me, they were successful because it is they who, I help them to develop models, it is they who implement the models, and it is they who sustain the process, right? So that is the idea, and they did it very well and got a lot of success. So similar pattern can be, is being adopted and can be exercised at other places also. And a host of techniques are available, starting from linear analysis, then AI, then chaos analysis, and so on, right? The latest one is chaos analysis, in which I'm advising plants, because the process, if you don't operate it properly, it goes into chaos. And that chaos has to be controlled first, so that the process is brought under controllable conditions. And when it comes under controllable conditions, from that point on, you can apply any model, right? Whether it is AI model or a physical model that you have made, both are equally successful. Okay, there's not much leverage between fundamental models and AI models, so to say. So I would support both the fields, but I would say that first to have data collection system, then train your engineers, and then learn how to use the data and how to follow the instructions of the model given by the model. And the success is guaranteed. So where these people who are, say for example, startups can come, startups can form a group of people. They can approach plants and say that, I'm saying it with confidence, that we will improve your production capacity by 15%. Is it worth it or not? Right? And then they say, okay, you study the system, let us know the details, etc., etc., etc. And then if they accept that challenge of 15% increase in production, thank you, increase in quality, increase in all around performance, but it doesn't allow underhand means of operations, right? So these are two separate things. I think for those people who are not skilled, skilling programs should be done so that they can be taken into confidence in running the process. I did take that. I held workshops for the people at the plant to train them, educate them, and they were so happy to see how well they are contributing. A sense of participation has to come from the whole plant. Sir, that is my view.
Thank you, sir. Professor Brahmadev from IIT Bhubaneswar, he has got vast experience, and the way he told that first is data collection from the industries. industry will be very, very reluctant to give data. So we have to convince them that these data are yours and the model we are going to develop is for you only. So then only they will share data, and then you can also keep some of the secrecy of the industry and develop models, and taking help of professors and the institution like IITs and IMMT and other institutes, and our panelists having STPI, having Trident and CB Raman. So we all are there to help. So like sir told you, form a group, the startup companies. Why? Because you require a mineral processing engineer there. You require a computer science engineer there. We require somebody who knows mathematics, who can speak well. So all these form a group independently, individually. It is very difficult to tackle. So that is what sir's suggestion is, very, very good suggestion. So we can now move to Professor Maji, who has worked very fundamentally on different type of algorithms, and computer science professor in throughout very vast experience in different institutions, from the teachership, professor to PhD guide to administrators, IITs, VSSUT, Triple IT, and now in a global university, CB Raman Global University as VC. So sir will understand how computer science, AI, ML can convince mineral processing people, and how the educational systems in engineering can little bit modified so that our engineers will be sufficient enough for this.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Das. And I remember our old days when we were working together in NIT Rourkela. Together we were pursuing PhD, and both of our topics were on the machine intelligence during that time, at least on neural networks and subcomputing techniques. And I think I'm privileged to be among the distinguished experts talking on a topic, even though I am not the domain experts, but we have worked little on the machine learning and AI. Coming back to this, as all of you know that AI has become a very disruptive technology that has invaded into across the domain, starting from the healthcare to the manufacturing to the educations, and mining is not an exception. And mining is also a brighter example where actually, if we take the case of the mining, starting from the exploration to the extraction to the logistics, everywhere a huge set of data is being associated, as in the area of digitizations. Like whether we talk about remote sensing data, whether we talk about the geophysical survey data, whether it is like sensor-based data. So when we say a single mine itself produces a terabytes of data, and this itself is a very big example of a big data processing. And when this big data processing is necessary, it is definitely AI is a rescue to take the necessary decisions to extract information from this. And coming back, because as you say that this itself is a multidisciplinary approach, and this technology can be, or this AI technology can be successfully implemented in the mining extraction or mining engineering when there is a successful incubation systems, new innovations takes place, and that is what the thrust of the every universities. We at CB Raman Global University has 2 incubation centers, and many people, some of them are working in the mining area. And the similar ecosystems exist in the most of the national institutions and the universities. Forgetting again one more thing, one of my colleague here from NIT Rourkela, I remember that mining engineering, our computer science students started doing their PhD in mining engineering. That was being provided, that facilitated when I was the Dean Academic of NIT Rourkela. Even if there was a stream that a computer science MTech can only do PhD in computer science. A computer science or a MTech in mining can only be eligible for the mining engineering PhD. But when we have, this is way back in 2014, we have facilitated, and many of our computer science graduates have applied their computer vision systems, sensor-based safety, like systems development, or even mineral extractions from the mineral extraction. Different materials has been facilitated, and subsequently it has become a trend that students will choose the application area, no botheration about the degree that whether they will get from computer science or is a joint degree from mining and computer science. And many of our students has been like successfully employed in different mining industries and have developed products. So when coming back to the like the kind of curriculum that has to be designed, it has to be designed. Even mining engineering curriculum must be designed in such a way that students should be in a position to study AI, machine learning, robotics, drone technology, because these are the applications, sensor-based technologies in the mining areas and where they can be applied. At least even if it is when there are full modules, but at least for the each, maybe when I talk about a rock mechanics, whether you talk about the mine safety, there must be a 2-3 modules where the sensor-based or AI-based mechanisms to develop a safety measurement, a safety system. So that kind of curriculum needs to be done, and as well as our innovation incubation system must be strengthened so that more and more products are designed. So we apply them to the mining industries so that we extract more with more safety, more efficiently for the industries. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, sir, for giving elaborate information about how the students can be skilled, because students are the backbone of our technology. Because students will join startup, student can make startup, student can join companies, they can convince their managers or the higher official that let us use AI. The people who are now operating the machines or the mines, they will never adopt any change. Who will adopt change? The new students who will be entering, new entrants. They will say, we can use this. We can use a camera instead of a person standing in a dusty area and solve a particular problem. Okay, so the new students should be motivated enough, not for just exam, but for how thinking a new direction so that they can convince wherever they join to adopt AI. And this is a very good opportunity for India because Indian industries are not yet AI enabled. If we want to now enable them with AI and ML, then either we will procure systems from abroad and use it, or our people will develop. And our people, as per my knowledge, as far as my knowledge goes, in study, we study all kind of algorithms, all kind of sensor systems. Given opportunity, our people can do wonders. So let all industries support our youngsters to trial their systems in industries so that they can get a first-hand confidence that my small system could work. Thank you. So now we will go to STPI, Madam Purvi Purnasa Mishra, Madam. So STPI is a very good organization for Odisha. So they give lot of facilities for startups to grow. So we want to understand from Madam, what is the present status, how the startup people can join them, and suppose startup person or a member go to a particular industry, get a problem. Now he doesn't have a solution. Where he can go, how STPA can help so that the solution can be reaching the particular field. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I am Purabi. I know that Software Technology Parks of India is known to build the IT ecosystem that is currently there in Odisha, and the biggest role we have played, and we are really very proud about that. But about incubation, I guess STPI has started this since 1991. And we have been supporting ITES startups and companies since 91. But after the startup, policy came and the DPIIT was formed, we have around 26 center of entrepreneurship across the country. Every center of entrepreneurship is focused into some or other domain. In Bhubaneswar, we have 3 center of entrepreneurship. One is with IIT Bhubaneswar, that is VAR COE. Then we have Electropreneur Park and MTech COE. Now, Electropreneur Park and MTech COE, these are the 2 COEs which is focused on Industry 4.0, electronic system design, manufacturing, AI, ML solutions, embedded systems, sensors, IoT. So basically, we have nurtured more than 180 startups from Odisha and beyond Odisha as well. And the major, role when we talk about AI, ML implementation in industry, especially mining industry, we are dependent on solutions from outside. Even though Odisha can be actually the living laboratory for mines and minerals, seeing the kind of environment we have here and the strength that Odisha shows to the country and of course the abroad as well. Now, any solution that a startup builds with us is of course has to be taken to the industry. Otherwise, without validating the field deployment, every solution that is built is actually of no use. So even if we provide access to in technology infrastructure, GPU credits, AWS credits, you name it, we actually help all the startups with every kind of facility that we can give it to them. We also do a lot of demo days with SAIL, with NALCO, and with other companies because we have signed MOU with them. And these demos are for the solution that the startup has already built. And once these, like recently we did with SAIL Raulkela plant, we had demoed around 9 solutions that our startups have built, so that they can get access to the real problem statement and use case. Somebody has built some product for some purpose, but that can have actual real implementation in the mines, and they will only come to know about it once they do a demo with the real industry partners. Now, I also have been very, very, happy with the kind of work IMMT does because we are getting all of our validations, at least lab-based validation before commercialization from IMMT as well. And about the problem statement that sir has asked, this is, needs stronger mechanisms. Like one unit that we have already done a mining accelerator program in last 2 years we have done. We have collected problem statements from across mining, steel and every industry, and we have tried to get solutions which can actually be used by the mining people, and some of them have done pilots and got purchase orders as well. So basically the idea should be how we can facilitate a pilot, a validation of any solution. It is very difficult for a startup to approach directly to the companies. It requires a lot of things, validation of problem, validation of the startup, the trust on how the product has been built, about the IP that they hold. Now, all these things can be figured out if you are there in an incubation system. And when it is a Government of India backed incubation, we have some really good norms wherein we validate every problem that a startup has while building the solution and ensure that it is being done in a way where there is no issues related to IP, patents or commercialization of the product. Now, currently when we talk about electronics, semiconductor, AI, IoT and advanced manufacturing, these requires a major opportunity that has been created, which requires actually all this ecosystem to come together. Now this panel itself, shows that how strong we are working and trying to help people out here. Now it is up to the students and the startups to connect with us and find out that how we can be your orchestra so that you can bring in solutions which can be shown to mines and manufacturing. Now, some of the important questions for a physical startup would be, has the technology survived the field? It is also important for me. It is your KPI as well as it is also a KPI of the ecosystem enabler like us. Has it solved an industry problem? Has it completed a successful pilot? Has the industry adopted it? Brahmadev sir has already told about the role of investors. Now, if all these answers are correct, then only investor will come on board. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get an investor onboarded. So that is my take on this. So basically, we are trying, but you have to reach us.
Okay. Thank you, madam, for highlighting the contribution and the facilities at STPI, which many of the startups are taking. And those who have not approached STPI, they can approach and solve their problem, because the infrastructure they have, the guidance they can provide, and they can also make you aware about the patents, IP, etc. Thank you, madam. Now we'll go to our Professor Sakuntala madam. She is a researcher in the area of electronics, and she is also in Trident Academic Institution of Technology, and they have developed many sensor systems. I know that they have got different type of fundings from different R&D organizations, and the students are also doing good there. So we want to know that what kind of contributions they have done or they are proposing for the mining and mineral areas.
Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the desk, and the dear students and scientists of CSR IMMT present over here. So before I start, my sincere gratitude to the director CSR IMMT Ramanu sir and the organizing team, Devi Prasad Das and Dr. Mamta Mahapatra ma'am for this invitation. Well, coming to Trident Academy of Technology, actually we are working on this IoT and sensor based devices. And sir just asked to highlight what we are working over here. So for a DST project, actually we have developed sensing of the hazardous gases under the main holes for the main hole workers. Before they enter into the main holes, hazardous gases like already all of you know methane, this CO and ammonia, all these things exist. So already we have developed a prototype model. The same thing we can do for the mining industries. Early detection of these hazardous gases for the underground minings. And this is basically IoT based system, and this system already we have implemented this AI ML algorithms like CNN and DNN models, because when we are using different types of gas sensors for sensing, so the cross sensitivity is an issue. So we have developed the artificial intelligence and machine learning, like as I have told, CNN and DNN models, algorithms already, for to deal with this cross sensitivity issues. Also, we have developed a IoT based model to develop a AQI model, and already we have tested that in campus, and we are planning to enhance it and it can be used everywhere. And we have also validated our data with the CPCB data which we are capturing every day. So these are some things we are doing, and one group of our team also, they are working on this vibration sensors that is a project undertaken by Ministry of Mines. So we are bit into it. But now what is, and this is a platform where academicians, researchers are there, STPI, startup is there, industry and R&D institute is there. So, and I'm happy to say that we have also MOU with IMMT, and we are pitching some projects in collaboration with the scientists of CSR IMMT. So coming to this mining industry, there are lot of problems to be addressed using this AI and ML algorithms and also edge AI modules. So the industry, because this is basically when we talk about Purvodaya, this is for Odisha. So the industry is based on Odisha because Odisha is well known for these mines. So they should come up with their problems, because Purvi madam just spoken about some problems, but that should be known to all of us, the academicians and R&D institutions. So we can form a cluster or consortia. So where the role of academics, R&D institute, then industry, and also startup, they can play a role to address the real-time problems. So that then we can develop some models to solve these real-time problems, because now the manual things that should be avoided, and we should get much into this AI/ML techniques, because everywhere that is used now. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. As madam was telling that they have got some DST projects and Ministry of Mines project or some other ministry. I just let you know that there are agencies who sponsor projects. So they are R&D projects, and those R&D projects require nowadays two components. One is industry partnership, another is academic partnership. If both are there, then the project becomes strong. So if any startup company has any problem in mind, any particular problem, they need solution. But they don't have sufficient money to invest and make the prototype and see. So jointly you can apply to those funding agencies, saying that I can contribute to the project about only 10%. Suppose the project is 1 crore, so you have to spend 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs if you give a letter, and if you can arrange 10-15 lakhs, industry will give, the government agencies will give 85 to 90 lakhs to the academic institution. All the setups will be developed. You will be partner. There can be patents. You will be the first person to utilize that particular product. This is a very good opportunity for startups. Now we are coming towards the end. But we have a very eminent personality who has got experience in CDAC. You know, CDAC stands for Computer
Center for Development of Advanced Computing.
Yeah. So when the first supercomputer was developed in the country, Param, was by CDAC. He was vast experience there. Then he joined IMMT here. So he can tell about the working style and the contribution of CDAC as well as IMMT towards AI/ML application or computer science applications in mining and mineral areas.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Devi. It's a nice platform, in fact, to speak about what we people are doing and how it can be taken it forward. Sir has said long back we had started with our digitization or automation process. Then what we started monitoring it. Now it is the time to use the same monitoring data to predict and analyze and decision making. From CDAC days, in fact, I was associated in multiple domains. Everybody will appreciate computer science or IT is finding its place in across all the domains. That is why the computer science people, they are doing PhD in mining. So in any area, we have a presence there. So maybe it is mining, maybe it is any decision model, maybe it is in environmental, all the aspects we have a presence. And I got an opportunity to work in different domain, maybe in the oil sector, maybe it is in the land management planning, and maybe it is in the railway sector, and coming back here in landslide monitoring, environmental pollution, all the sectors we have worked. And I'm happy to say, I have been mentoring a few of the startups in different incubations at Key TBI as well as our intake and TechSmean, and they are doing extremely well. And the only thing what I can see, they have that dedication and they have that motivation of themselves to take it forward. So if not today, then when? Shall we depend on the overseas market continuously for our softwares? There are several softwares which we have developed. Instead of, like, there are several incubation, they are coming up with the services part, IT services. Those days are apart. Now let's think of the AIML based software solution as a product which can be taken to the market, to the industry. I will touch upon couple of things. It is not very specific. One project which we worked for landslide monitoring. It is similar to, because that technology what we developed, that the same technology is being used for the opencast mining, the mine stabilization. It is, the concept is the same. What we are doing is we are monitoring the parameters and then using those parameters, monitored parameters for the prediction using different AI models. Now, ma'am was talking about environmental pollution monitoring. We have a patent on it, in fact, at IMMT. We have worked together. Instead of having a single monitoring station at one location and then say, this is the scenario across the city or across the area, it is not proper. Because we ourselves have seen there is a variation. The moment you move from one location to the other, there is a variation. So, shall we have multiple monitoring stations? The answer would be no, because it mounts up the price. So how about one monitoring station moving around and checking the parameters? The same thing can happen in the city which we have demonstrated. Of course, this is going to happen. This is going to show the light in the mining area also. In the mine stabilization, now we have the dumpings. Mine dumpings are there. How to monitor their stability, their environmental emissions. Everything has to be an IoT-based solution. And I invite all the startup ecosystem to join hand together and take it forward. Yesterday, I believe some of the startup ecosystem, they were not here. One of my colleague, Dr. Santosh Behra and Dr. DP Das, we were together, has developed one solution, ion palette, which is there on the industry. Have a look of it. That ion palette that was first started with the monitoring, and then the same data was used as the export ion palette, which was there to help the industry how to control. The control system was also evolved. And that is there in the industry. It is competing with the overseas market. That is the beauty of it. So can we not develop? Let's join hand together. We are there to mentor, participate, and join together to develop something which the India or our nation will think of as a Viksit Bharat. Thank you, Devi, for initiating this talk.
Thank you. There was an instruction from the organizer that we have to close by 1:30, but we have about 15 minutes time. So how to utilize the time with the permission of the panelists, instead of we only speak from our side, we can we take up some of the questions from them, sir? Any startup or anything? So you can be a bit louder. So mic is not going. You can come forward if you have any questions. You can raise your hand. Any student also? What opportunity? What is startup opportunity? Yes. Thank you. He is Professor Dr. S.P. Das.
Hello.
Thank you, the eminent panelist, and thank you, Debi, for moderating this topic. This topic of AI/ML, I have got a hands-on experience having taken your input of application of AI in my machine learning during 2015 or 16, during all your work. There are two questions, like today's generation is asking, as you know, that a lot of layoff in software because of the ushering of this artificial intelligence. Maybe last week there's a layoff around 30,000 jobs in software across the globe. So this today's generation is asking, there are two aspects. One is, what will be these scenarios of application of artificial intelligence if it is 100% utilized in mineral sectors? Is there any chances of layoff of the jobs as it is happening currently? That is the natural question. Operator, what is the strategic advantage of application of AI in terms of your cost, in terms of energy, and in terms of pollution? These are some of the vital. So we have to make an trade a balance between the two. One is maintaining the job scenarios, and also side by side maintaining an healthy, energy efficient and sustainable in application industry.
Yeah.
So like to hear from
Understood.
the exponents.
We can take up two things here, questions. There are two questions. One is what is the advantage of AI? What is the disadvantage of AI for layoff of the job? So advantage part will take up from Professor Bhanjadev sir. See his layoff part he will tell because he is in academics. So sir can tell Bhanjadev sir can tell about the advantages, sir. Sir, you tell about the advantages.
Yeah, I'll take the first part as well as both the second part also a
Okay.
little bit. As far as the layoff is concerned, sir, definitely AI is responsible because some of the routine jobs that the AI is able to do, that is why it is. But the majority of the layoffs are happening because the mass is not skilled on the AI how to utilize. Because, and the either because of their curriculum what they have studied or because of their upskilling what they could not do, and the company cannot take the best benefit out of them. That is one of them. Second thing is that you know that young generation or the curriculums are getting updated and they are much smarter in application of the AI tools as well as the AI methodologies. So the company is interested because everybody wants to maximize their output and the profits. So when is a mass available who are more smarter, more knowledgeable on a topic which is the call of the day, and there is a mass which are not able to upskill their knowledge in the door. This is the reason of this. So every employee, those who are existing, must upskill their things. So that is why we say skilling, reskilling, and further upskilling. So the old things has to be forgotten, new things has to be come in, and you have to adapt because the technology is changing very fast. Things are moving in the earlier one language. If talking about a language, I am talking. If I know a particular language, I can survive for 10 years. Absolutely not. Today, if you are knowing something, maybe down the line 1.5 years or 1 year, even the span is reducing. So there are a lot of technologies coming, both in the hardware as in the software. Coming back to the second questions, that, what is that?
Advantages the operator will get. I think sir is the best person to answer
say,
because
okay,
he is in
that's
the
great.
mineral processing.
That's great.
Yeah, I think sir has answered one part of the story. I will answer it from the academic side. One of my students is professor at IIT Chennai, and recently he phoned me that I was trying to do a very hard work on simulation of a continuous casting process, heat transfer, mass transfer, fluid flow, and it was so involved. And I simply employed one student to Gen AI and all those computer tools that you have got. He says, sir, I got the answer in 3 days. What's my worth? So that thing, when technologies are available, your past knowledge is going waste. Why should somebody spend 3 years in developing a model which they can do in 3 days? So, you see, things have to be taken at different fronts. We cannot compare layoffs and all these things. They are not directly comparable, or directly one can reject another and accept another. I give assignments to my students. They go to they go to these computer instruments and produce an answer within 1 day. So that's how it is. That means modern generation is more smart. compared to the generation which is already employed. So as sir said, older generation has to come up. There is no other alternative. No other alternative. Thank you.
I'll just supplement to the second one. Sir's next question is that if it is applied to the mining industries, will there be similar situation will happen? Correct? Definitely. The one part is that the current skill set, whatever is available, if somebody is only a mining engineer, definitely is less required, because when the technologies are changing, and to supplement this AI technology or this sensors and all this, the manpower has also to upgrade themselves. Then only they will be making the things, machineries or the decision making with respect to that technology. So the skill set has to be, you cannot say that the manpower will be replaced, but the same manpower has to be reskilled in a better way. And those who will be reskilling themselves, they will be able to survive. But some of the routines, there might be impact, but that will generate another skill set employment.
I will just add on a couple of things here. I'll just take 1 more minute. Very rightly said, these layoffs in the software industry which is happening because everybody was focusing on the automation or digitalization. But the moment you bring in AI component into it, there will not be any layoffs as such. So it is altogether, I will say, it's the adoption of AI rather than just setting it aside, okay, no, what I know, that is something is competent enough. So it is all about adoption. If it is, we are going to adopt, things are normal. And moreover, looking at the business entity, as you said, the economic viability, how it is advantageous. These AI technologies is making it faster, so cost economy is there, time-wise. Second, these AI tools, they gives a biased kind of information, which an expert who knows the domain, he only can understand whether it is correct or not. So the domain expertise cannot go out of the country or out of the space. It will be there and it will be supplemented by the AI technology and the software. That is how we have to move into the future.
Okay, so we have come to the end, so I'll just summarize.
Yeah, I have one request here on the front. Here. Am I visible?
Yeah.
I have a humble request. Actually, I'm a physically handicapped person, but during my wheelchair, we have invented artificial intelligence sustainable model chart, like in UNDP Sustainable Development Goal. We have developed AI sustainable chart model. So I want to come there and take a photograph with my chart, if its permission is granted. Thank you.
So after the end, it is possible, or now he wants to come? Or we can come down there? Sir, we can come down there. Thank you. Thank you. See, how is his motivation is coming, and we are very much fortunate that, see, there is a requirement and he has invented something. Similarly, mines and mineral areas, there are a lot of such requirements, and there are a lot of opportunities. So you have to see your opportunity, problems, challenges, and solve the problems.
This is the subscribe. I have a teaching session, but one second. Take a photo. Let me just explain. Sir, you can take. I have this pitching session after this. but this is like a sustainable development model. We have developed AI sustainable model chart. So I would request sir and madam also, please come. And we will be explaining about it. Like SDG, you can, I'll also share in WhatsApp in this thing. Thank you. This is the innovation from Odisha we can claim, and that's why I've put Sambalpuri print also. Initially, I made this, Odia is a translation of English because we don't have the prompt knowledge on our own script, but we are promoting Odia first. And I published the Odia script in Odisha Re, then I published English after that. So this is the English and Odia both. So we can say for the world a sustainable model chart we are inventing from Odisha, India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for introducing yourself and your innovation. Thank you, sir. So we have now come to our end. So I'll just summarize what we have achieved after this panel discussion. We have understood that from IIT Professor Brahmadeo sir, that one can approach industries, go to them and solve their problem by providing solutions. The solutions, as he told about, different type of models in computers, which will be simulating a particular process in industry. Whether it is a drilling process or a grinding process or a pyrometallurgy process. So the computer model can lead to a digital twin in future. Okay, sir can convince, and you can join with SARs, and you can also go with them, and you can enter your particular innovation along with professors like Deo sir. And we also understood from Maji sir, Professor Bansidhar Maji, having his vast experience in academic line, he said that how the AI/ML can be applied, how the computer science can work in mining areas, how mining area people can also learn AI/ML coding and apply their own solutions. And also towards the end, he told about the layoff possibilities. So reskilling, how it is very much important there. Then we also understood from Madam STPI how much STPI is contributing towards hand-holding the startup companies, the facilities they have created. Many startups have grown through them. So we also look forward for more and more such opportunities in future. Then Madam told about how the DST and Minister of Mines and Minister of Steel, other funding agencies can fund, and how they are developing different technologies, IoTs and other things. So those are very much required in nowadays in industries for data collections. We understood from our own scientist, Dr. Satyajit Rath, how IMMT as a mineral research lab, how they can give domain knowledge, how they can also contribute towards AI/ML model development. He has got vast experience in CDAC also. He understands that computer science can solve mineral processing and mining problems. And toward the end, with all these take-home messages, that we have to join hand together. Industry should be open to solve their problems. They should speak out their problems in different forums so that our people can think of solutions. We have a lot of minds. Opportunities are limited, but we should not think that it is limited. Opportunities are there. We only have to find solutions and approach the particular, we go in the particular track so that our ideas, innovations can go to the industries. It will be useful for them. And our mineral resources will be fully utilized in a profitable way. We should not utilize in a very less cost manner. So we can utilize it, we can preserve them sustainably, we can use without troubling our environment and without going for the layoff of the job. Instead we create jobs. I just remember one thing, when computer was invented, because computer was invented, people like TCS and Infosys, they thought that can we use computer as a tool to generate lot of jobs? Why there are a lot of jobs in industry and in engineering colleges? Because they can develop software for abroad people. foreign people using computers. Now again, AI, ML, chat GPTs, Gemini AI, all these generative AI things have come. Now our people can be entrepreneur to make companies like Infosys, TCS, and big software companies. They are the service provider for AI, ML technology to throughout the world use this as a tool and solve different problems. Then only we can get a lot of money from abroad. Thank you very much. So with this we conclude. Thank you all the panelists for giving their insights. So this is now time for felicitating them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this insightful panel discussion on exploration of artificial intelligence in mining and minerals, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists for sharing their invaluable expertise, thought-provoking perspectives, and visionary ideas. Your insights have truly enriched our understanding of how AI is shaping the future of the mining and mineral sector. On behalf of everyone present here, thank you for your time, wisdom, and meaningful contribution. Please join me in giving our distinguished panelists a warm round of applause, everybody. Now it's time to felicitate our esteemed panelists. Now I request Dr. Trupti ma'am and Engineer Shubham Sashwat Prosti, Director, Purvodaya Odisha, to please come up on the stage and felicitate our esteemed panelists with Uttariya and Memento. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to all our esteemed panelists. I request everyone to please come forward for the group photograph. It's time for the group photograph. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Please have your respective seats uh, down the stage. Okay, all right, now it's time for the lunch break. After 1 hour, we'll see you everyone right here. Thank you so much.